Hello, everybody. Now I am going to talk about models of deductions. But first of all, I need to tell you what deductions is. Actually, it is like speculations or predictions or guess. First, let's have a look at the definition of the verb deduce. When you deduce something, okay, that's what you do actually. You form an opinion about something or someone based on the information or evidence that is available. With other words, it means to speculate, predict, or guess. Now, when we make deductions, we actually use the models given below. Must, may, could, might, can, couldn't, may not, might not, for example. Well, when we make positive deductions, we use just the following models. Just these models, be careful on this. Must, may, could, or might. We use must for a strong deduction. And if it's a present deduction, a present simple verb, namely verb 1, follows this model. You see how the structure is built here. First, the model must, then present simple verb follows it. Have a look at the dialogue given here as an example. The question is, why is Yasmin at home today? Before reading the answer, just have a look at the clue. It says, I saw her last night while she was going to bed and she wasn't feeling very well. So I'm sure that she is ill today. So after seeing this clue that you are sure that Yasmin is ill today, you can easily make a strong deduction by using must. She must be ill. There are some examples towards this idea, actually. Make present simple deductions using the correct model and the correct form of the verbs given in parentheses. Have a look at the first dialogue, please. I wonder why the baby is crying. So we need to find a clue to make a, let's say, a strong deduction. Can you find the clue here? I'm positive that he's hungry because mom hasn't fed him for hours. Think about it. The second one says, how come that this boy on TV right now knows so much about almost everything? Do you have any idea? Well, if you're sure, you need to use the correct form of the verb and the model. In the third example, it says, now you're waiting for Lara to arrive at 7 o'clock as agreed. So this is a good clue. That means to say you agreed that Lara should arrive at 7 o'clock. And now it is 7 o'clock. You hear the doorbell and say that blah, blah, Lara. 4. Okay, you look at the statement, your father is traveling a lot. And the clue is given here actually. His passport is full of visa stamps. There's hardly a blank page there. So that tells us that your father travels a lot in a way. Just make a strong deduction here, please. Have a look at the last example. Mr. Aitar's loving Pink Floyd a lot. He has got all their CDs and even singles. So that means to say that he loves Pink Floyd a lot. So just make a strong prediction about Mr. Aitar. See, here you have the key. I wonder why the baby's crying. He must be hungry because mom hasn't fed him for hours. So I'm positive that he's hungry. How come that this boy on TV right now knows so much about almost everything? Any idea? He must read so much all the time. Now you're waiting for Lara to arrive at 7 o'clock as agreed. You hear the doorbell and say, that must be Lara. Your father must travel a lot because his passport is full of visa stamps and there's hardly a blank page here. Mr. Aitar must love Pink Floyd a lot. He has got all of their CDs and even singles. The second point this time is when we make a weak deduction. When we make a weak deduction, we use could, may, or might, okay? And of course, if it is a present simple deduction, we have to use, after the modal, of course, we have to use verb 1. As you can see here, could, may, might, verb 1. And the example says, do you know why John isn't at school today? Actually, I haven't got the slightest idea about it. That means to say that you're not sure why John isn't at school today. So you say, he might, or he may, or he could be in the tennis tournament now. Meaning, perhaps he's in the tennis tournament now. Make present simple deductions using the correct modal and the correct form of the verbs given in parentheses. Why is the baby crying this time? The biggest clue here is, I really don't know. Because when you say, I really don't know, here must be a weak deduction, right? The second one, let's look for a clue, whether it is or whether it should be a strong deduction or a weak one. Where do you think this couple comes from? From Bulgaria, Russia, or even from Poland? Is that the point? Number 3. Do any of you know what the problem with orange is? Please look for a clue or for some clues. The best clue is we're not sure. If you're not sure, you need to make a weak deduction. Do you think they will give us a heart test after the coronavirus break? Who knows? This is another point telling us that we should make a weak deduction. Have a look at the key. Why is the baby crying this time? I really don't know. He may be hungry, or he might need a nappy change, or he could even need burping. Where do you think this couple comes from? They could come from Bulgaria or Russia. or even from Poland, as they speak a sort of different Slavic language. Do any of you know what the problem with orange is? You're not sure. He just may be ill or tired, as we saw him playing table tennis with us some 5 minutes ago or so. Do you think they will give us a heart test after the coronavirus break? Who knows? They could hold a tough one, but it might be a simple one as well, because they may try to motivate us to start studying again. This time, we need to deal with negative deductions. In the first two, we made deductions. Actually, we made positive deductions, okay? With a strong one and with a weak one. This time, we are going to deal with negative deductions. When making negative deductions, we use just the following models, not anything else. Can't, couldn't, may not, might not. We use can't or couldn't, but nothing else for a strong negative deduction. And if it is a present deduction, a present simple verb follows the model as you can see it here. After can't or couldn't, we use present simple verb. Arda is now saying to me that he is very hungry. Let's have a look at the clue. He just ate 2 portions of Adana kebab 10 minutes ago. It is impossible that he is hungry. Therefore, we need to say he can't be hungry at all, or he couldn't be hungry at all, because he just ate 2 portions of Adana kebab 10 minutes ago. We use may not or might not for a weak negative deduction. And you can see the structure for this. Do you know why John isn't at school today? Actually, I haven't got the slightest idea about it. This shows that we need to make a weak deduction. He might not feel like coming to school today, or he may not feel like coming to school today. Perhaps he's not in the right mood for school today. Let me repeat the first note for you. When you use verb 1 after the models of deduction, you make a present simple deduction, like in the example I gave before. Mr. Aitar must love Pink Floyd a lot. See, after the modal must, we have the verb 1 form. So this tells us that it is a present simple deduction. Arda is now saying to me that he's very hungry. He can't be hungry at all. It is impossible that he is hungry. That's what I mean to say. And the clue says he just ate 2 portions of Adana kebab. The second important note is when you use be plus verb ing after the modals of deduction, you make a present continuous deduction. Let's study the example here. Can you hear some noise coming from Kerem's room? Can you? It sounds like some music. You're right. He can't be sleeping now. Most probably he's doing something else. Where are Gülin and Şonas? they must be in the library studying because they've got a very important exam in 2 hours. Exercise 3. Use the most appropriate model to make correct deductions, either in simple present or present continuous. Okay? Just try to have a look for the clues to see whether you need to make, a strong deduction or a weak one, or whether you need to make a present deduction or present continuous deduction. It says, I think Ethan is studying English in his room right now. See the clue? Who knows? It says, who knows? And in the first statement, we have got the idea that it is present continuous. I think Ethan is studying English in his room right now. Who knows? So, do we have to make a strong deduction or a weak one? A present deduction or present continuous one? Pay attention, please. The same one goes with the second. Please don't make so much noise, because Eda is studying in her room at the moment. See the clue? Impossible. When we see impossible, we need to think about a strong deduction, in the negative sense, of course. Impossible. She blah, blah, blah there now. See? Because I just saw her in the park chatting with her school friends. Number 3. Hey, have a look. Isn't that definitely one walking along Turgut Özal Avenue? So, where blah, 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 blah? I'm not sure. So try to fill in the blank. 4. Why is Ipek eating only salad? She hasn't even touched her mantu. So, what do you think about the relationship between Ipek and mantu? Do you think she likes mantu a lot? Or not? The biggest clue is, I don't know. Your son says that he is totally broke, that he doesn't have any money at all. No, blah, blah, blah. Because the father here says, I just gave him his pocket money for the whole week. So, another maybe strong deduction, huh? Let's see the answers. I think Ethan is studying English in his room right now. Who knows? He may not be studying. There's music coming from his room. Maybe he's not studying, huh? Please don't make so much noise. Eda is studying in her room at the moment. Impossible. She can't be studying there now. We just saw her in the park chatting with her school friends. Hey, have a look. Isn't that Daphne Doğan walking along Turgut Özal Avenue? Where might she be going? I'm not sure, but she could be going to the movies or shopping. Why is Ipek eating only salad? She hasn't even touched her mantu. I don't know. She may not like mantu. She may not like it. Your son says he is totally broke. No, he couldn't be. He can't be broke at all. I just gave him his pocket money for the whole week. Thanks a lot for listening to me, folks.